Welcome to Knights of the Turntable. Most of my heroes don't appear on those stamps. I don't know if y'all get that reference, but that's a fight the power lyric. And in the spirit of that, we're going to be talking about politics, humanity, and hip hop. And with me, I have Joe Hover.
Shout out to B. Will for saying hip politics, though.
Yes, he coined a new phrase for people. We got Richard Bailey as well.
What's up, people?
Word. This is all we're going to have tonight, but this is more than enough to address a lot of the things that are going on. And we got a lot of news topics that we're going to touch. And the hip-hop politics subject is probably going to be a pretty heavy one as well. But before we get to all of that, what is in your rotation? Rich, start us off.
All right, well, I listened to a few tracks that we are going to talk about later on today's show. Besides that, I've been unfortunately listening to some of the same stuff I listened to in 2015. Just because Drake didn't drop his album yet. We don't have any really other, Kanye. I'm not going to count that because this guy needs some help. But, yeah, Kendrick, some a little bit of Tyler, and some Mos Def. So.
Okay. Speaking of Mos Def, he just got arrested in Cape Town. At first, I saw a post and it was saying that he got arrested for trying to use a fake passport. But the actual news is he got a passport, like a world passport, and it's not, whatever it is, it's not accepted everywhere. And he's used it before to travel, but all of a sudden it's not good for him to use. But I think somebody that they talked to, like a representative for him, said he's in South America or South Africa illegally. So I don't know how that's going to go for him. But and it's also said that he's not using his American passport for political reasons, whatever that means.
Did he sleep with Badu at some point? Because he's gone
probably.
Shit.
He dipped a toe up in there. So yeah. Joe, what's in your rotation?
So Future Mike Will just dropped a track. I listened to it on repeat until we started the show. It is Flames, Epic Flames. I've heard the new Isaiah Rashad record, and we'll talk about that later. I won't spoil what I have to say about that. And Gold Link. I'm so mad I didn't listen to this Gold Link album last year. I was playing it at the gym last night, and it is remarkable.
Yeah, shout out to Kel. She put us on that one, and we've enjoyed it tremendously.
Yeah. And then I got this playlist I'm working on for the end of the month, so I've been kind of dabbing with that. And he's actually one of the artists that we're going to talk about tonight. I'm not going to give it away, though.
All right, word. I actually just caught a little bit of extra news that we'll get to when we talk about that Isaiah Rashad track. It's getting a little hot out here. But in my rotation, I listened to the new Mick Jenkins songs, the new Isaiah Rashad, but I listened to the Freeway mixtape that came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy it very much. So I gave that one spin and I was done. So kind of like Rich, I was listening to old stuff, but the Anderson .Paak album came out, and what is it called?
Malibu.
My goodness, that album is wonderful. I feel like this is what the internet Ego Death was for last year, because that was an early release that kind of stayed in rotation for the rest of the year. Malibu is going to be in my rotation for quite a while, but let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, y'all didn't get a chance to listen to the Mick Jenkins tracks yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I did.
You did? What were your thoughts on those, Rich?
I'm glad that he's keeping the same theme of water.
Sip.
Yeah, sip. There you go. Sip. Hey, don't be drinking too much now, Joe. We got a show to do tonight. Yeah, I thought it was great. I think you said it best in the post. You hear more of him lyrically, not so much the music, but the music is solid too.
Yeah. That one's it's a collaboration with The Mind. They consider it a little bit of an EP. It's only 2 tracks. But I think there may be some more songs coming from that, because I think he's working with The Mind quite a bit. So we'll see what happens.
Go ahead. One question. So, is his album dropping this year? I'm talking about the album, or is it?
I think he is going to put out an album this year.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine us going a whole year without getting another full project from Mick Jenkins at this point. Like he's pretty hot, so I'm sure he'll want to continue to tap into that while it's still going. But as far as now, you may have been asking if it's like going to be like a retail one. I don't know. He might be one of the people that's going to be putting out free projects like Chance. So
yeah, because he's not signed. He's a part of Free Nation, and I don't think I think they're strictly indie.
Yeah, I'm all about that. But when they come to town or something, I'm definitely gonna spend some money on their appearances.
Heck yeah.
Hells yeah. All right, and let's go ahead and jump into. After the Mick Jenkins. So Isaiah Rashad dropped a track called Smile. Now, that little bit of news that I just caught on to is on Hot New Hip Hop. They dropped a piece earlier today asking is Freddie Gibbs going after Isaiah Rashad because of some copied single or album artwork or something like that. Yeah, like Smile apparently has a very, very similar style to Gibbs 10 Times single artwork, which I'm trying to pull it up and look at it now. No. Like it's one thing to kind of emulate a style, like an art style for it. Mm-hmm. But to say flat out copied it, I gotta say that's a reach. Granted, I was gonna get a little hype to have Freddie Gibbs beef with somebody from TDE. I think that would have been pretty dope music to hear. But I looked at the pictures. We can scrap that and keep on moving. That's no news at all. But what did y'all think of the Isaiah Rashad track, Smile? Joe?
I was listening to it right before the show, and I love to joke. I love to joke about artists sound like other artists. And how Isaiah is basically Kendrick. Mm-hmm. But Isaiah is flexing. He sounds different on this record. He sounds like somebody told him, hey, you can't sound like Kendrick your whole career. And he took that advice instead of not taking that advice. But he sounds like a mix of Kendrick and Q on this record. I think it's really good. It's aggressive, and I like that from him.
Oh my goodness, it's super aggressive, and I need that. I appreciated that about his previous music, how aggressive it is. A lot of people did, and this is definitely that. Rich, did you get a chance to listen?
I listened to a little bit of it. I didn't really get to listen to all of it because I also was listening before we started the show. Mm-hmm. So far, I thought it was pretty decent, but I haven't really heard enough of it yet. I can understand how you could say that maybe he sounded like Kendrick in his older stuff, but I think it's good so far. I definitely need to check out the rest of the song and whatever other projects he's working on.
Okay, gotcha. There's also a music video for it. We don't have video posted on the site just yet, but sometime tonight or early tomorrow I'm gonna have it posted. It's a pretty cool little video. But all right, so with that being said, we got new Isaiah Rashad. TDE didn't quite execute on their promise from last year with dropping all the projects they said they were gonna drop. Do we think that they're gonna be able to bounce back from that this year? Rich, you go first.
First and foremost, let me say I disagree with that initial statement. Mm-hmm. Kendrick Lamar executed in 2015, and J-Rock, we can give him credit as well. The others to be determined. So 2016, I really don't see any signs of any significant changes because I don't know any projects that they're working on or when they're going to drop something else. I do know Kendrick will probably have the rumored project with J. Cole, but I don't know if the rest of TDE will be involved in that whole process. So,
the rumor is we're getting a SZA, an Isaiah, a Rock, and a Soul project, like 4 individual ones this year.
Yeah, and let me clarify. I wasn't saying that the quality of TDE's releases last year were bad. It's just we were supposed to get a lot more of them. Simple as that.
Because we were supposed to get a SZA and a Isaiah record last year.
Right.
Because didn't they say they were gonna? Yeah. And we got 2.
Yes, we got 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just 2. Just the Kendrick and the J-Rock.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Wasn't there supposed to be a project with all of them on it? Like a group album? Oh, okay.
I don't think they ever said that that was going to actually happen.
Getting a Black Hippie album.
Yeah. Like, I really, 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 really want one. But it doesn't look like we're going to get that anytime soon. Schoolboy Q kind of hinted at it possibly happening at the end of the Vice City, the music video version of it, which had the longer verse. But yeah, that's about it on that. Hit the chat, Joe. It's all good. Just warning you before it comes out on you. But hopefully, I think with Isaiah Rashad, if he's going to go down this route, I think we'll be okay for his project. I'm looking forward to that. SZA, I think she'll execute. She's fairly consistent. And Kendrick and J. Cole, I think we're going to get the project from them this year. So, like, just with those 3 things, that's enough. But if we get J-Rock, if we get Q and Soul as well, I'm here for it. I would love. I like the Soul thing is the biggest question mark though. Do y'all think Absol is going to be able to bounce back sufficiently?
I think so. I think I feel like these days was kind of experimental for him. I feel like he was going outside of his own box and his own lane. So I feel like he's gonna bounce back from that. Just from the guests too, like the one on the Mac Miller project, and then who else did he do one that wasn't on like the TDE projects? I can't remember, but he had like 2 guest verses last year that were like really, really good. So I think he's gonna bounce back.
The Game?
Yeah, the Game album. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that's true. Hopefully so. I need a good, solid, full, good project to follow up Control System, which was such a really, really good album. All right, did y'all get to check out the new Lupe Fiasco track that he teased at a live performance? No?
Not yet. Well, I'm gonna watch that after the show.
Okay, Rich, did you get to see it?
No, man. When did this actually drop? This dropped today, or was it like?
I think it dropped today because it was just he's on his little tour or whatever, and somebody posted it up. It was actually I caught it on the Hip Hop Heads Reddit. Shout out to them, their subreddit, which is if you are interested in hip hop in any fashion, that's probably one of the best places to get like quick information on hip hop as it happens. But yeah, they linked that up, and like you don't get to hear Rick Ross or Big Krit's verses. I'm not even 100% sure how they knew that they were going to be on that particular track, but he plays it, has some intro with somebody talking, and then he raps. The thing that I took away from it is that it's continuing this really good streak of production for Lupe that I can really, really get behind, and just the verse he performed, it sounds wonderful. And that's going to be the first single off the first of 3 albums this year, which I'm not surprised that this little clip dropped, because if he's going to do 3 albums this year, he needs to, push some stuff out.
If you do 3 albums, you got to do them in separate quarters. Like, he's got to drop one now, at least one in the summer, and then one in the fall.
Yeah. So, hey, Lupe might take over this year. You know what I'm saying? Drake and Kanye are holding on to some stuff that's going to come out, but Lupe might come through and sweep the rug from under him. I don't know. That'd be an interesting ass narrative to have at the end of the year. Of all the things that happened, Lupe took over.
Lupe sweeping the leg.
Yeah. he know martial arts, bro. What'd you say, Rich?
Quick comment. Yes, Lupe definitely is going to get a lot of attention this year. However, it is worth noting that Nas is also supposed to drop 2 albums this year.
Supposed to drop 2?
Yeah, the Lost Tapes Volume 2, and then whatever the album is that he's supposed to be working on, the newest album.
Hey, man. All right, well, that's a perfect segue into my next question. Will 2016 be as strong as 2015 was for hip hop? Because y'all know how we felt about 2015. Like, it was a badass project after badass project.
We were blessed that last year. Last year was the best year in hip hop since probably about 2010.
Yeah, it was consistently good up until the end of the year, like all the way to the very last moment, because we got Pusha T's album to round the year out. It was all good stuff. Do y'all think that 2016, with what we know so far, will be able to pull it off and impress us?
You know, I think so. I think so because like that piece that I wrote about Future, check that out, coalition.com. He's still on his run. He's still on his little run that he's going on. And those last about 2 years in hip hop. Like once you get really hot, those last for about 2 years. So I think that his music's gonna continue to be great. I feel like Views from the Six is gonna be phenomenal just by how long we're having to wait on it.
Did you hear the clip of that song that apparently dropped? Like it's like a clip from a music video or something? I'll have to link you to it, but that particular song is hot doo doo.
I don't know. I feel like after Drake, what he did to Meek, I feel like he's just gonna heat up even more. So, and Kanye might not drop a bad project. Finally,
he might not drop a steaming turd. Everyone, 2015 definitely made us feel like we was gonna get a complete dumpster fire of an album. But the first song for Good Friday was good. Speaking of Good Friday, did we even get a song today? I didn't see one go up.
Nah, I just retweeted somebody. I think it was Big Biz on Twitter. He retweeted Kim K saying you should be tweeting a SoundCloud link.
Hell yeah. She lied to us, man. She got us all.
Yeah, but they're on the West Coast too, so it wouldn't surprise me if we got something at like 3 a.m.
True, very true. On my side of things, I really do think that 2016 could be that great. And I mean, hate me if you want, but I really think I'm pinning a lot of that on Lupe's 3 albums. Like, I'm foreseeing him continuing his streak of improving.
Well, we're gonna get Run the Jewels 3 this year too.
Yes.
So I have high hopes for that. And
then we get a Chance project this year too.
We get a Chance
project. We might get 2.
Thugger's gonna drop something. Like I feel like this year. I feel like 2015 was the snowball effect. Like this year's it's gonna keep going.
I hope so, man. If so, it's going to be an incredible thing. Just a random bit of news. I see a lot of people tweeting about it. Kanye West's Monster track is top 10 on iTunes charts right now. Y'all know why, right? Yeah, Adele was rapping the Monster verse from, what is her name? I forgot her name. Wow. Nicki Minaj, yes. Nicki Minaj's verse. I haven't mentioned her in a long time, and I haven't even seen anybody talk about her, but yeah, her Monster verse, which was my favorite verse on that track, and actually was the first song that made me think, hey, Nicki Minaj could be kind of dope, but, things happen. Things don't always pan out. It's all good. But now, after all, I'm sorry, Rich, what do you think? Do you think 2016 is going to be able to stand up to 2015?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of late breaking news, I just saw that Outkast is going to be on a tour most of this year. I definitely will be getting tickets. I see they got a couple of tickets for Atlanta. There's a whole bunch of destinations.
Yo, what day is that Atlanta show?
Oh, this isn't until September 26th through the 28th.
Perfect.
But they're going to be all over, too. I mean, I'll send you the full listing.
I'm going to get my bands up.
Hey, we might need to schedule that nice turntable barbecue around that time. Yeah. So we might need to make that happen. But that's all the news topics for today, so let's go ahead and jump into the main topic for the show. As you saw on Tuesday, we were a day late. We dropped the playlist for hip hop, humanity, and American politics. Basically, hip hop has been influential, and politics have influenced a lot of hip hop music over the years. If you like, a lot of people, I don't know, I don't have like the most definite definition of political hip hop and where it was born, but I see that a lot of it started in the 80s.
When I think of political hip hop, I think of like Immortal Technique and Dead Prez and shit like that.
Yeah, the stuff that we legitimately had to grow up listening to all the time. That's what we have heard. With Immortal Technique, I always kind of avoided his music for the most part because people said it was like too political, and I was like, I don't want that heavyweight whatever. But he does good stuff, and I've kind of listened to other artists that are very political in their sound. Like Brother Ali has been had a lot of political conversations in his music from the beginning. But do y'all recall like one of your first interactions with political hip hop, Joe?
I would say, you know what? I would say a Talib Kweli song.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to like Kweli like back in the day, like his the album with Get By and some of that stuff. Like I listened to some of that stuff, so I would say that was my first like interaction with like political non-traditional hip hop.
Okay, how about you, Rich?
I'm going to say, too, of course, we've already said this track, Fight the Power. I mean, that was the song that was played all throughout Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. So that kind of got stuck in my head. But aside from that, Mos Def, Black on Both Sides album. A lot of songs on there. Man, it's a lot of songs. Mathematics, Water, the list goes on. But I believe that was like really the first one, and then of course like a lot of stuff he's talking about. I've seen or experienced some of the stuff. So yeah.
Okay. With me, like Black on Both Sides, I was really late to the party with listening to that, and in general with political hip hop, I was very late to the party on that. Overall, like of course you hear the historically popular songs like Fight the Power, and Fuck the Police and shit like that.
Can we include Jadakiss Y as like one of the historical songs like that?
Would it be historical?
I feel like that was
wait. What I mean though, because the
are you talking about like the history of hip hop basically?
Right. Like hold on. Let me summarize it. Like those super popular older songs I heard, but I didn't get invested in political hip hop. When I really started listening to it was actually Brother Ali's Undisputed Truth that I was introduced to by D. Gut. But you're right about why. Why will go down in history as one of the more popular political songs for sure. It's just not the song that kind of pulled me into it, just like the other songs from before weren't either. Low key, my president is black got to go down in the history books too.
With that terrible ass Nas verse. That was a perfectly good Jeezy song, and then here comes Nas just rhyming off beat and shit. And I'm just like, dude, why?
It ruined it. But I think Brother Ali has been one of the more entertaining people that could do it, because not everybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can talk about politics. Not everybody can balance it out where they have, the I want to say non-conscious, because a lot of them still have conscious music, but the heavy subject matter of that balance with entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
You know who's really good at that too is Killer Mike.
Yes, Killer Mike is fantastic at that. He's somebody that I picked up on his solo stuff later than everyone else, but I pledge allegiance to the grind, and he did another project right before he did Run the Jewels as well. Because they had that song Reagan on it, and it was fire as hell.
Rap music,
yes. Like, Killer Mike, honestly, right now, when I think of political hip-hop, it's crazy. I think of, well, not political hip-hop, but when I think of politics and hip-hop, I think of Killer Mike because of how embedded he is in Bernie Sanders' campaign, and like, he's basically on that campaign trail with him at this point.
Yo, can we just take a minute to say that Killer Mike could go bar for bar with anybody in hip hop right now too?
Oh, right now he would bury a lot of people. And I mean, when you really go back to his old stuff, he really was bodying people then too. Like, it's just now.
I love Killer Mike.
Yeah, like he's one of my favorite humans, point blank period, right now.
He's just a dope individual.
Yeah. Now, another artist that was heavily influential when it comes to me in political hip hop, Lupe Fiasco. Lupe he's not always spot on with mixing the political message with the entertainment. Sometimes the message is more potent and you can't listen to it. It's not a song that you can enjoy and listen to all the time, which a lot of political hip hop stuff isn't supposed to be like that. But his songs like American Terrorist 1, 2, and 3, them shit's fire, and I think there may be a 4 as well. But when he does touch on that stuff, he goes in like Words I Never Said, that's on the Unspeakable album.
It's a good song. I thought that was like one of the few good songs on that project.
Yes, very, very true. Who would y'all say is your favorite artist that touches on political subjects? Joe?
Probably Killer Mike right now. Back in the day, I used to be a big Dead Prez fan.
Hey, I respect that too.
I thought Dead Prez, like revolutionary but gangster, I thought that was a pretty dope album. And what turned me on to them was Hell Yeah. Like, they were talking about robbing the fucking pizza delivery dude. Like, it was just like shit that, like, I had never heard to that point. So like the way they constructed their stories and stuff, like I thought it was cool. So Dead Prez was they were a big influence on like politics and hip hop for me.
And shout out to the 3 people that are actually watching the show right now. I've seen the number jump a little bit, but shout out to y'all. Feel free to throw some comments in there and join in on the conversation. We'll try to shout y'all out and get your comments out there during the show as well, and we greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for being watched on Friday nights with us.
Yeah, get your glasses, pour your drinks, because we drinking. But Rich, who would you say is your favorite?
Well, that's a very tough question. Because I mean, I like I say, I know you guys keep talking about Killer Mike. I must admit that there's a lot of his stuff I need to listen to. I listened to when he was with Outkast. I didn't listen to Run the Jewels thoroughly to really get an understanding of why he is great at what he does. So I have to go back and do that. But I did also listen to Dead Prez. That's why it was funny, because I know you had nominated Dead Prez. I didn't. Now, not necessarily. I didn't. Now, when I was going to nominate them, it wasn't going to be necessarily for the same songs. Some of the controversial songs. I'm an African, and perhaps that's not really considered a political song. But man, that song is just like,
it's heavy.
I heard that song. It's like, damn, that's a fierce song right there.
And of course, I'm disappointed that I didn't think to put that Dead Prez track. The one. If you don't know Dead Prez, you always know this one track, and it's the one that Dave Chappelle used on his show all the time.
Hip hop.
Yeah, on the hip hop. I wish I would have included that in the playlist. I fucked up.
That beat is so amazing to this fucking day. Yes. I used to talk over that in college. That was one of my favorite beats to talk over. That was one of my favorite beats to talk over in college.
Damn, that is perfect though. All right, so. I'd like to read this comment that gentleman Sean Judah, a friend of mine from Alabama, he's a really dope hip-hop artist. He left a comment on our preview of this Nights of the Turntable 53. And he said he thinks that there's a subculture that only expresses concern when it seems popular, perhaps to extend their fan base or just to be relevant. The artists that have a standout political record. Wait, hold on. I think I'm reading that wrong. The artists that I guess it's some artists that have an it's whatever type of message that temporarily cloud, for lack of a better word, the conscious message category. So I guess what he's saying, those artists that don't consistently include political hip hop in their music, when they decide to do it in their popular lanes, it clouds it for the people that are legitimately involved or consistently. Not legitimately. I won't take that away from the other artists, but I think that's what he's trying to say. It takes away from those types of artists.
So they're basically being opportunistic with the thing, because you know what's like when Mike Brown got killed and all these, you know, because I run the indie site. And I would get, it was at least once every other day, I would get a song about, oh yeah, this song's for Mike Brown, and it didn't feel like it was genuine. It didn't feel like these people were doing it. It felt like they were doing it to take advantage of the situation that was happening.
Right.
They were taking the spotlight away from what was really going on in Ferguson, and that made me mad. It pissed me off. It was like, why, like, this isn't about you. This is something that's entirely bigger than you, and you're going to try and take advantage of it to market yourself.
Right, that's true, and I think that's what Sean's getting at. There's a lot of artists that take advantage of that, and to get some shine. Rich, oh, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, I love J. Cole's verse, the whole Letterman thing, but I feel like that was one of those moments.
And the reason why, and like as good as that, like. As good, the good that came out of it, like the verse that we got after that he performed live.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that verse. But you're right, and I think a big part of that is because we didn't hear anything like that from him before it became a big issue, or not before it became a big issue, but before it was all in the spotlight at that time.
But now that we think about it, now that we bring it up, he was actually there in. Was he there in Ferguson, or was he there at the Baltimore?
He was there before that song came out.
So he was there, and maybe that like changed his mind or something like that, and he felt like he had the platform. Because I feel like because I have a platform every day, and I feel like sometimes I don't use it to what I should speak on. So maybe he felt like that on Letterman. But it's at that time, it kind of feels like it's opportunistic.
Yeah. Rich, what are your thoughts?
The basic question, you're talking about the artists that use it as an opportunity rather than something that they do regularly?
Right.
Well, here's the question. I understand there are some that do this. Probably some more recent examples. But I would like to ask the question, we say that Kendrick is not one of these artists, because I know he had some controversial songs on his most recent album.
I won't put Kendrick as one of the opportunistic people just because we had Section 80 before all of this.
Kendrick's for the people.
Right. Before he blew up, Section 80 was that heavy political. I mean, he had a song on there, Ronald Reagan era. He had the political message sprinkled throughout that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think To Pimp a Butterfly was just an evolution of that concept. Because, I mean, we may not even be able to call Kendrick necessarily a political hip-hop artist because a lot of his songs are so personal rather than trying to speak on the status quo, except for his live performance of Untitled 1, which was definitely more political. But I may be completely off base with that, and I'm just missing something. Well, no, because like the song "For Free" and all that, he definitely took some shots in that aspect. But I wouldn't say that he's capitalizing, like a sudden change in his type of music, and he's capitalizing on things. But go ahead and continue, Rich.
Oh yeah, no, that's just a question I was going to ask because I don't think he's capitalizing either. I'm trying to get a feel for those that may be capitalizing. I mean, yeah, I guess if you hear an artist, normally they're talking about one thing, but they're not really talking about stuff that people want or should be listening to.
Right. And it's a thin line. It's tough to discuss because one thing that a lot of people say, like they're like, why aren't artists talking about this more when these situations happen? Like, and honestly, you can apply the same capitalizing thing on the fans too. Like, hey, why weren't you concerned with Drake talking about this subject before it became a hot topic? You know what I'm saying? Why do you have to wait until now to say something about it? And honestly, I am totally fine with some artists not having an opinion or bringing it into their music. It doesn't fit for them. You know what I'm saying? We don't look for them for that type of thing. And I'm sure if they were to do it, we feel like, hey, you're just capitalizing off of this at this point. Like I don't know if y'all remember, but a year, almost 2 years ago, when they asked Young Thug about everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm not talking about that.
He said basically that's not my place to speak on it.
Right, and I was like, hey, I respect that because I'm pretty sure like he would have spouted off some nonsense and pissed everybody off.
That's the thing. Like
he didn't know about it, so he didn't speak on it.
Do you want your entertainers speaking on that? I feel like there are certain entertainers that can speak on stuff like that, but do you want somebody like Drake or Future? Do you really care about their thoughts on it? Like, you know what they're using their platform for. Exactly. Like, you don't want to hear their thoughts on it because they're going to tell you something dumb, and then you're going to be even more mad.
Yeah, and like even on the sports side of things, like people jump down LeBron's throat for not having for not knowing. And he said that he didn't know about it, so he couldn't speak on it. Y'all get mad about that, but why not give more shine to the people that are talking about it? Like the football player from the Browns, I can't remember his name. He took a stance. He wore the shirt. He went out there. He was well informed on it, well spoken on the subject, and that's what you want. Like, why would you want somebody that
The problem is that people want the biggest stars to speak on all of their issues, and if you don't speak on the issue that they really want to be taught to hear about, then you're he's such a hater. He's such a whack person for not speaking on this and not. You got to remember too, these people are humans.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they have families, they have obligations as well. So you're not gonna get somebody like LeBron, somebody like fucking Drake or Jay-Z. They're not gonna speak on all these things because at the end of the day, they're making a paycheck from somebody, and if their opinions don't express well, they're gonna lose that money.
Yeah, and like
it sucks, but it's that's the truth.
Yeah, and I think people put these popular, like these celebrities and such, into this bubble where they're so popular that whatever they say has to change something. Like it's going to influence somebody that may have the opposite belief from you, and you're like, hey, if this celebrity says it, then they'll be like, oh shit, I believe them now. Like that's just not gonna happen. Like LeBron could have came out there, said like the foulest shit in the world. On the flip side, like police this, police that. He could have taken a solidified stance on the whole thing. It's not gonna change other people's perceptions. Like it'll put him in hot water. You know what I'm saying? Because he hadn't taken a stance like that, other than when he wore they wore the shirts during the game that one time.
I Can't Breathe shirts, right?
Right. And you gotta think, like when they did that, they were they were informed on it. They knew what they were doing. His teammates probably told him about it, or he found out himself and got everybody together to figured it out. And they just hadn't done that with the Tamir Rice situation. So I don't know. I rather the people that don't talk about it that much stay away from it for the most part. Like, I mean, if you do your research, because you can tell when somebody has actually learned and invest themselves in the subjects to discuss them. Another song, now, like, to give a different example of a person that hadn't really done anything, but it didn't seem like they were capitalizing, Janelle Monáe. Like, her music kind of had the undertones of like, political music, but her song that she did after Sandra Bland passed away, where they were all they did was list out all the names of the people that passed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that didn't sound like something like they were capitalizing. They were giving people like information. They were letting them know how fucked up the situation was, how dire it was, and just using the music as their platform because they have that platform, so they wanted to use it for that. So I don't know. I guess it's situational because you'll have some people like you have that platform, so you would want to use it, and some just wouldn't want to. They don't want to endanger themselves. But also Janelle Monáe's kind of independent, so she didn't have to worry about that. That's the key to it too.
True.
And I think J. Cole and Kendrick are as well at this point. But do y'all think this is a sucky question to ask? But do you think now going into 2016, like obviously it's not gonna die down. People die. I feel like every damn day. And if not every day, every other day, every week. Do you think the presence of the subject in hip hop is going to dissipate, or do you think people are going to continue using it as a platform to speak on these things, or do you think it'll increase over this year?
I don't know if it'll increase. I think it's always going to be used, though. I think no matter what, somebody's gonna, because like you said, like this is, we see somebody on the news at least once a week, once every other week, killed by the police, and it's one of those things where it's increasing at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like this before, or if we're just, because of the age that we live in, everything's documented, that we hear more about it. But it's I think it's going to be one of those things that it stays the course no matter what.
What do you think, Rich?
Well, I hate to have a dark tone, but I think that some of it will continue. You may hear a little bit here and there. Some artists will speak out a little bit more about some of the things going on. I think, in particular, the politics, because my personal opinion is that depending upon who actually gets in office, there may be some people that may not like that choice. That's
always the case.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I got a very bad feeling that I think that the next president, I don't know who it's going to be. I personally don't really care for either side at this point, but I think that the next president, it's going to be kind of tough. But
I think this is definitely going to be one of the more divided, like, I don't know how to word it. Like, both sides are so drastically hated. So, like, whoever wins, like, some people are going to be legit pissed off. And I'm not talking about, like, Obama won, people pissed because he's black. Not even, so a few people are pissed because of, like, some of the more liberal things that he would do. But between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, or even Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because I don't think anybody has a chance to top Donald on the other side, like, it's crazy. Like, the people that Donald Trump, like the followers he's gaining and building up with, there's some scary fucking people. And Trump is a very scary person right now on his campaign trail. And it's I'm gonna be on the first jet plane the fuck out of here if he wins, bro. Because there's no land for me. There's no land for a lot of us if Trump get in office, dog. Everybody gotta go. But finish what you were saying, Rich.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, you said you took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say that. We have to see what happens. I think with the politics, all these debates now going on, you're probably going to see a lot of things said throughout this year. Some artists may throw in a couple of reference a lot of the issues going on. May not be quite as heavily, maybe a little tame, but I still think it's still going to have a presence, throughout the year.
Word up. But that's all we have for this particular topic. Did y'all have any last words on this topic, Joe?
Where do y'all think Macklemore fits in on this? I couldn't say that with a straight face.
You can answer that.
Where do I think? Shit. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I feel like Macklemore is he has like two masks ready to go. So if one wins, he got that mask on, but if the other one wins, he got the other one on. Like, he's ready, bro. He's ready to transform. What do you think, Rich?
Well, I don't know. Macklemore? You know, I'm not really a fan of Macklemore, so I wish him well, whichever side he does choose. But I know I won't be listening to it.
Yeah, I think he just announced the release date for his album and the title too. I didn't look it up, but I saw something.
Hold on, I was scrolling past it on Twitter. That's what made me say that.
Yeah, The Unruly Mess.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
That's so perfect. Oh man, he's a character. We'll see if the album might end up being Flames. So, you know, we do not know how that's going to turn out. But did you have any last words on this subject, Rich?
Not really. Just looking forward to seeing. I mean, I quite honestly, I like controversy. I like when artists acknowledge things that are going on, whether it's politics or in the world in general. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they acknowledge this year. Because there's going to be some stuff that goes down that they definitely will have to talk about.
There's going to be some shit. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some shit. All right, well, that's the last of the hip-hop and American politics conversation. Thanks again to the people that are watching this live. Be sure to comment on the show and let us know your thoughts on all of this stuff and how you feel about people that kind of use the hip-hop as a platform to discuss American politics. And do you feel like some popular artists, are capitalizing on it? Do you feel like it's genuine and authentic? Or do you think it's opportunistic, as Joe said? Hit us in the comment section. We're very curious to talk with our fans about that particular subject. And also the other topics that we talked about, the new music that's come out. Do you think 2016 is going to be as great as 2015 for music? Do you think TDE is going to execute? All of that good stuff. Let us know what you think. But let's go ahead and get the last words from everyone. Richard Bailey.
Once again, thank you for having me on the show. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And do not vote for Donald Trump.
All opinions expressed on here are of the individuals, but I'm going to co-sign that too. Don't vote. Matter of fact,
I think we all co-sign that.
I got to put the Bryson Tiller joint in there. If you're thinking about voting for Donald Trump, don't.
Don't.
All right, last words, Joe.
Shout out to Just Blaze, because I did the playlist for his birthday last week. And he thanked me for it. He tweeted me and he said, "Thank you for this." I was like, "Dude, thank you for all the classics. Like, this is what I listened to growing up." And I tweeted it again a little bit earlier this week, and he retweeted it with like a thumbs up. Like, I got the Just Blaze fucking stamp of approval on this playlist.
Hey, I saw the thumbs up, but I didn't know that he actually had tweeted you thank you before.
Yeah, he did that when it dropped last Friday. Yeah. Shout out to Just Blaze for that. That me being a huge Just Blaze fan back in the day, that just, like, 17-year-old me is like jumping up and down somewhere.
Pop locking to some 90s Just Blaze production. But definitely go and check that playlist out. It's super dope. But to wrap things up, business as usual, you know what I'm saying? Hit the Patreon for the coalition. All of these shows are going to continue to be free, but if you'd like to donate to the site so we can improve it, feel free. Every dollar counts. 50 cent counts, 25 cent, whatever you want to throw out there. We're going to take it. And shout out to the other shows on thecoalition.com, the Panel to Panel comic book show, which I also host, the Throwdown show, hosted by Tony Polanco, and they have a really cool cast of people over there, and the Co-op, our gaming show, hosted by Richard Bailey and Gary Schwabe as well. Hit those shows up. You know what I'm saying? We all have really great conversations across the board. But I'm going to plug that next week, Civil War is happening between Panel to Panel and the Throwdown. So stuff like that, like the competitions and the verses and all that, look out for those types of things to go down. And if anybody feel like they want to step up and try to take on the Knights of the Turntable, feel free. Speak your mind. Hit the comment section because we down to destroy some people. We handing out L's like it ain't nothing. It's a buffet. We got L's for everybody. But we appreciate the support. We love everybody, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.